the Chi-Town experience on the flight. Let me go tune in to Keek on the mic. He gon' make sure we get our news and highlights. When you get on YouTube, you better hit the like.
With new head coach Ben Johnson in the fold, changes are already underway for the Chicago Bears organization with the releases of both Demarcus Walker and Gerald Everett. But are the Chicago Bears prepping for another big move that will flip the Chicago Bears roster? Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Keek on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. As always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. So, Bears fans, as we all know, Ryan Poles and Ben Johnson are already really busy flipping this roster as they prepare for free agency and trying to upgrade the Chicago Bears roster as soon as next month with the releases of both Demarcus Walker and Gerald Everett, where they saved $10.75 million against their cap, pushing their cap space to almost $80 million to spend. And obviously, when you have a new coaching staff, you expect these type of moves, especially when there's a lot of Bears fans out there saying that the Demarcus Walker move didn't really make too much sense. But once again, when you have a new coaching staff, they have an idea in mind on the type of roster that they want here in Chicago. So you just kind of have to trust Ryan Poles and Ben Johnson and just understand what they are trying to do here in Chicago. But there could be another huge move in store for Ryan Poles, Ben Johnson, and the Chicago Bears organization. According to some rumors, the New York Jets are eyeing a trade for Chicago Bears safety Jaquan Brisker. Yes, and the Jets would reportedly send a 6th round pick for Jaquan Brisker. Once again, I want you guys to take this with a grain of salt. You can't really believe everything that you see, but just for the purpose of today's video and wanting me to get your guys' opinion on this matter, yeah, the Jets are interested in trading for Chicago Bears safety Jaquan Brisker. So my question for you guys on today's episode of Keek on the Mic is, should Ryan Poles and should the Chicago Bears actually trade away Jaquan Brisker? And this is a really interesting topic and something to talk about because I know Jaquan Brisker is a Chicago Bears fan favorite. I know Jaquan Brisker loves the city of Chicago. When you look at Jaquan Brisker, he is 25 years old, has recorded 249 tackles, 3 interceptions, 6 sacks, over 35 career games with the Chicago Bears. But the big concern with Brisker is his injury history. He missed 12 games in 2024 with the concussion injury that he sustained against the Carolina Panthers. He has had 3 overall concussions in his NFL career. So it's starting to become more of a concerning thing when you're talking about the concussions for Jaquan Brisker. And he is set to be a free agent after the 2025 season. Hypothetically, Bears fans, I would love to see Jaquan Brisker succeed here in Chicago. He is a hard-hitting safety. He sets the tone for the Chicago Bears defense. Obviously, the combination with Brisker, Kevin Byard, Kyler Gordon, and Jalen Johnson, it makes the Chicago Bears one of the best young secondaries in the National Football League. But the problem, like most of the Chicago Bears roster, we have this conversation with a lot of players on this roster, is the availability of Jaquan Brisker. When he is healthy, he is to me, one of the best in-box safeties in the National Football League, right? And there's a reason why, if this is true, a guy like Aaron Glenn is interested in a guy like Jaquan Brisker, because Aaron Glenn is all about defense. He wants hard-hitting players, guys that don't mind to get in the box and get dirty, right? And to really set the tone. And that's exactly what Jaquan Brisker would be for Aaron Glenn's defense with the New York Jets. So it makes a lot of sense, if this is true, why Aaron Glenn and the New York Jets would be interested in a guy like Jaquan Brisker. But now you think about the Chicago Bears point of view. Once again, Jaquan Brisker is still young at 25. So I know, thinking in Ryan Poles' mind, and this is a guy that he invested in a couple of years ago with the 2nd round pick. And to me, it has been a really good pick for Ryan Poles, especially when you think about the tandem of Kyler Gordon and Jaquan Brisker. Given once again, the Chicago Bears, one of the better young safety tandems and cornerback secondary tandems in the National Football League. But the issue is even though at 25 years old, Jaquan Jaquan Brisker is going to be looking for a contract extension, and he has missed a whole lot of football games, and the concussion injuries can be a concerning factor. He is set to be a free agent. So in my mindset, if this is true, the Jets are willing to possibly give us a 6th round pick in return for a player that has unable to really stay healthy for the Chicago Bears. Would you actually consider trading Jaquan Brisker? If the Bears do actually consider trading Brisker away to the New York Jets, they would save $3.3 million in cap space by trading him. So you add a little bit more cap space to try to address more areas of need going into next month. But also the problem is the Chicago Bears can afford to keep releasing people or trading guys away and then having some more holes on their roster. Obviously, even though Jaquan Brisker is unable to stay healthy for the Chicago Bears, right? That would still create a massive hole on the Chicago Bears. Yet another area of need that they would have to address if they did ship Brisker off. We already have areas of needs on the offensive line and defensive line, and that should be the Chicago Bears' number one priority. It would just cause a little bit more issues if you did trade away Jaquan Brisker. But at the same time, I can understand the thinking saying, hey, he's going to want to get paid next year. Let's say he comes back and he actually plays a full year. He's probably going to want a pretty hefty contract. But at the same time, even if he comes back and plays a whole year and stays healthy and doesn't sustain a concussion, you would still have that in the back of your mind, those 3 concussions that he has had here in Chicago over the first couple of years of his career. So you kind of have to play devil's advocate, say, hey, you had to play the pros and cons of it. I think it's a really interesting topic of discussion. If the Chicago Bears once again did opt to trade Jaquan Brisker, took the 6th round pick and the extra $3.3 million in cap space, the good news is that there is replacements for Brisker. And I know I say this lightly because I love Jaquan Brisker and what he means for the Chicago Bears defense. But just playing devil advocate here, let's say Ryan Poles does opt to trade Jaquan Brisker to the New York Jets. You can have a couple options in the NFL draft and also a huge option in free agency as well. And I've heard a lot of people talk about this name. But first off, my favorite prospect in the NFL draft, and maybe you can invest one of your 2nd round picks in the 2025 NFL draft for this guy, is Xavier Watts out of Notre Dame. He's 6 foot, 203 pounds. He is a hard-hitting safety. Once again, pretty similar to a guy like Jaquan Brisker. A guy that has no issues getting dirty in the box, decent coverage skills as well. If the Bears are just looking to, get younger, get cheaper at the position, Xavier Watts could potentially be a cheap replacement for Jaquan Brisker. Or you can just still keep Jaquan Brisker and add Xavier Watts as well, just in case Jaquan Brisker gets hurt. If they want to look at the free agency route, Bears fans, a guy that I really like, a guy that, Bears fans have been talking about over the last couple of weeks as they enter free agency next month, is Jevon Holland, currently of the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins are going to allow him to hit free agency. He's only 24 years old and has been an impact player for the Dolphins ever since he's been drafted in the 2nd round of the 2021 NFL draft. He's a sure tackler with the speed and range to cover a lot of ground, has registered 301 tackles, 5 forced fumbles, and 5 interceptions in 60 games in his career. So once again, could come in, be an impact day 1 player for the Chicago Bears. Maybe a little bit of upgrade from Jaquan Brisker just because of the fact that he is more durable than Jaquan Brisker. And that is, once again, the big thing with Brisker. It's if he can stay healthy, he is one of the best safeties in the National Football League. Impact player, the heart and soul of the defense. He sets the tone for the Chicago Bears defense. I know his teammates love him. Really, really good leader as well. Even when he was out, you could see him on X, showing support to his teammates, showing love to his teammates. He is ready to come back and prove that, hey, I am still the same player, and I'm going to make a huge impact for this Bears defense. But at the same time, he has to stay healthy to be able to make an impact for this Chicago Bears football team. So Xavier Watts at NFL draft, Jevon Holland in free agency could be a little bit of a hefty price. Once again, the Chicago Bears do have the extra cap space, and I know that there's been some people saying that, Jevon Holland would be a really good fit for the Chicago Bears to actually possibly replace Jaquan Brisker before this big rumor actually came about of the Jets being interested in trading for Jaquan Brisker. So once again, it's going to be a crazy offseason. I'm not going to, say that he's going to be traded or not be traded, because once again, when you have a new coaching staff, they're going to decide at the end of the day who they want on this roster. Maybe Dennis Allen comes and say, hey, you know what? Jaquan Brisker is a great player, just can't stay healthy. Let's go try to upgrade the position of guys that can come in and, just be available for us. Or you may come in and say, you know what? Even at 25 years old with his 3 concussion history, I think he could still be an impact player for the Chicago Bears. So we're going to have to wait and see. But Bears fans, once again, before I let you guys go, do you think Ryan Poles and Chicago Bears should trade Jaquan Brisker for that reportedly 6th round pick to the New York Jets and possibly replace them with someone in the NFL draft, or maybe Javon Holland in free agency? Let me know down below on what you would do if you're Ryan Poles in the comment section. But as always, Bears fans, make sure you guys continue to hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, and make sure you share this episode of Keek on the Mic with every single Bears fan that you know. But other than that, back for all new Bears podcasts right here on Keek on the Mic. Thanks, guys, and as always, bear down.
You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't Keek on the Mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't Keek on the Mic. You can go and subscribe, cause I be on it